What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Dubai, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, as well as Real Housewives of Atlanta. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So first, let's start off with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So this article has been circulating since April the 19th about Kyle and Morgan and all of that. So I'm getting this from Bravo Snark side. It is a Daily Mail article, so I will put the link to that article in the description box below. But I'm just going to read the screenshots they have posted. So it says this. It says, all right, y'all. So this is how the article starts off. It says DailyMail.com has learned that the brunette beauty is being pushed to agree to discuss her relationship with 29-year-old singer Morgan Wade. Excuse me. For the sake of the series Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And Bravo is insisting she must come clean about the series romance if she wants to appear on season 14 of the hit reality TV show. The producers feel that Kyle has said all she can say about her split from Mauricio and this is where it gets weird because it says not it is time. I think they meant to say it is time to tell the truth about her dating Morgan Wade, sources say. Kyle has beat around the bush on a ton of Morgan and it's getting old. It's time for her to finally admit that it's more than a friendship. The 55-year-old sister of Kathy Hilton has insisted that she and Morgan are just friends. While the source did not explain if they were an item or broken up or are still seeing each other, they were clear it's more than a friendship. It was more than just friends. It was more than just a girl crush, the source says. I don't think Kyle puts labels on it, but it's something spicy. I will tell you for sure. Kyle has kissed Morgan in a music video, and they have also been being very touchy-feely in public with photos of Morgan sitting on Kyle's lap, making their rounds, but they have never confirmed an official romance and have insisted they are just friends. Inside source explains the attraction. Morgan treats Kyle like she is the most beautiful person in the world. It says Morgan treats Kyle like she is the most beautiful person in the world, entire world, and that is intoxicating, the source says. Kyle really does feel like she is pretty enough, she is funny enough, and she is smart enough when she's with Morgan. And there is an age difference. Morgan is in her 20s and everything is fresh and new and fun. Morgan makes Kyle feel young again, sources say. They travel, they do fun things, plus Morgan is easygoing and she makes things just easy for Kyle. Kyle is naturally a very anxious person and Morgan settles her down and she brings the calm. Being with Morgan is very different than being with Mauricio. Kyle was always trying to show Mauricio that she was pretty, funny enough, and she always was trying to dazzle him, and I think it was just exhausting for her, added the insider. She has said she is in a different person now that she is not drinking, and I think she has no BS shield up, so she is not the same as she used to be. She is super real these days. Also with Mauricio, it was always about the bills, the kids, the planning, the issues. She doesn't have the baggage with Morgan. Kyle has not been super real on the show. She has not wanted to say a lot on Morgan, no, but who knows, maybe she will for season 14, added the source. Kyle is smart, she is savvy, she will do the right thing for her career and family. Kyle and Mauricio are still living together in their LA house. Neither one has shared the real reason for their separation. Richards may not want to go back to the show. In March, she says she is undecided on whether or not she'll return to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 14. Speaking on Extra at Elton John's AIDS Foundation Oscar party, the sister of Kyle Richards and Kathy Hilton said she was ready to put that current season behind her and isn't sure if she'll be back. People keep asking me, are you going to come back? Are you going to leave? It's always something I decided last minute, explained. All right, y'all. So that was the article. If you would like to read it for yourself, I put the link to the article in the description box below, so check it out. So here's my thoughts. If Kyle is not going to share this or doesn't want to share this aspect of her life, I do agree with the network to either one, let her go or demote her, or Kyle could just take the, respectful way out and leave the same way Candace has just left Potomac and Candy left Atlanta. Like, there's nothing that says you have to stay. Like, you can always say, this was fun. I've done this for 13 years. I've shared enough. This part of my life, I want to be private, and move accordingly. But I feel like Kyle wants it both ways. And that's where I get annoyed with Kyle, because it's like, I don't think it's fair for you to have it both ways when you don't give other people that same grace. Now, I somewhat like Kyle at times because I've been watching Beverly Hills since season 1. But my thing about it with Kyle is, you have been a part of exposing a lot of people's personal stories. People still who are hardcore Kim Richards fans, okay, Queen Kim, still are mad at you for exposing the fact that your sister was a struggling alcoholic and a drug addict. And you did that season 1. People are still bringing up the whole situation with Denise and Brandy that you were a part of. People have brought up the thing with Lisa Vanderpump. So it's like, you've been a part of forcing people to talk about certain aspects of their life that they probably wanted to keep hidden. So it's like, now you're trying to not talk about it, which doesn't seem fair to me. So I feel like either get demoted or say, you know what, I had a good run, let me peace out. Because to me, what Kyle is doing is highly annoying if I was Morgan. And the reason why I say that is, like, me and Morgan are around the same age, and it's like, at this age, if I was Morgan, I'm not going back in the closet, okay? Morgan seems to be an out proud lesbian. On top of that, my thing about it is, if I was Morgan, I'd be annoyed. That's the part I would be annoyed with. It's either we are friends, but I don't like the fact that you're insinuating that we're more than friends, because when people ask Kyle a direct question like, hey, is that your girlfriend? Is that your bae? She's like, no, we're just friends. But she laughs like you could tell she's laughing because she's smitten by Morgan. Or if we are in a relationship, why are you not being out loud and proud about us being together? And some people may be like, well, Leah, not everybody shares their real life on reality TV. And you are absolutely correct. But for me, the people that don't do that are either, one, very entertaining and funny, or they know how to kick up the mess, and they're not on social media doing TMZ interviews or Amazon Lives or posting suggestive pictures with the person that everyone keeps asking you, are you in a relationship with, and getting mad about people asking whether or not y'all are together, even though you're feeding into the narrative that's out there that y'all are together. And my thing about it with Kyle is like, girl, you're not interesting without people around you. And I hate to say that about my Capricorn sis, because I feel like as a Capricorn, we are interesting. But if you look at Kyle's storylines throughout these 13 seasons, the only time people have found Kyle interesting is if she's having beef with her sisters, i.e. Kim or Kathy, or if she was having an issue with Lisa Vanderpump. Yeah. Or Brandy. It's like other people had to add to your story. No one's ever really been invested in Kyle's personal story. So I'm just kind of like, this is your opportunity to actually have a storyline that's just about you personally. And mind you, there's probably a lot of people in their 50s or their late 40s who are just like, I can relate to this. My kids are grown. My husband or my wife has either we divorced or has either passed away, and now I'm free to explore this aspect of my life. If it is either bisexuality or being a lesbian or being gay, you're opening yourself up to more people that could relate to you. So I just feel like it's kind of crazy that she doesn't want to share this aspect. And like I said, no one's forcing her to, but I feel like she wants it both ways, and I don't think that's fair. I also find it interesting in this article where she talks about, or I won't say she, the insider says that Mauricio doesn't have baggage. No, Morgan doesn't have baggage the same way Mauricio has baggage, because with Mauricio it's about the bills, it's about the kids, it's about the business. And it's like, yes, because as you grow in a relationship, those things come. And it made me just think of how men will always, like, when they start cheating on their wives, say the same thing about, like, oh, I'm with my side chick, or I got a mistress because she's fun and she's easy. But then the moment the mistress or the side chick starts to have, like, y'all start to have actual, like, real relationship problems that come with any relationship where it starts to become deeper, they drop that person and they either find a new mistress or a side chick, or they run back to their wife, because it's like, I can deal with those issues. And that's what I feel like was happening with Kyle, if what the insider is saying is actually true, because it's like, of course it's easy. Morgan is 29 years old without kids, and she's still living her younger years of her life. You're a 55-year-old with 4 kids, a child that's about to go to college, 2 that were college age, and one that's in, like, I think Farrah's like 33, 34. Like, you have adult children. Like, of course baggage comes. So I feel like the moment Morgan and her start to have real issues, are you gonna leave Morgan and find somebody else because you don't want to actually deal with the fact that, like, that's what happens in life? I don't know. But let's move on, y'all. Let's move on. All right, y'all, so let's talk about Real Housewives of Dubai. So there is a Twitter page online called RHODubai Daily, and they posted this yesterday. Mind you, they are a pretty good page. They've been keeping people updated on the show and what's to come for season 2. So if you're interested, I think you should definitely go check out their page and follow. But they pretty much posted this yesterday. So Chanel Ayan and Lisa Milan have unfollowed each other on Instagram, and they actually have where they searched it and they're not following each other. To be honest, I saw this coming. I reviewed last season of Real Housewives of Dubai, and to me, I'll be honest, I was a little biased because I like Caroline Stanbury. I enjoyed her on Ladies of London. Caroline Stanbury is a bitch, but she stands in her bitchiness, and I rock with people like that. As long as you can stand in it, I can kind of see, I goes up, you know? But pretty much, I felt like Lisa took on everybody's beef with Caroline and really didn't have a true issue with Caroline. I feel like she listened to Nina, because Nina pretty much because Lisa confirmed that Nina told her to watch out for Caroline, that Caroline was kind of funny and, like, you should be careful around her. But then Lisa was upset with Nina because she was like, girl, how you gonna tell me to watch out for this person, but you clicked up with them going on play dates with your kids with her? Then I feel like she then moved her energy to Ayan, because they are such good friends, where, you know, Ayan is having these issues with Caroline, and Lisa feels like she's doing the good thing by being, like, having her friends back. But if you notice, Ayan just wanted Caroline Stanbury to acknowledge her, because throughout the whole entire season, I'm like, Ayan, if you really don't like this lady and you think she's not all that, then why are you bothered and upset by the fact that she's not inviting you to things, or y'all are not really speaking to each other? It's because you actually like her and you want to be friends with her, because you can't be bothered by somebody that you don't really like. And I feel like, had Lisa just played the back, like, you know, been neutral, but still had her friends back, but took the time to get to know Caroline, then she might be in a better space. Because right now it's seeming like Lisa is on an island by herself, and that everybody else is cool with each other except with her. But this page also had posted what to expect for season 2. So I just want to read that for you guys. Start off with Lisa. It says, Lisa Milan is feeling stressed at home and work as she balances her kids' busy schedules and her maternity line, Mina Rowe. As she leans on Ayan for support, she realizes their friendship might not be as strong as she thought. That's honestly when you find out about your friends. So this is Ayan's summary. It says, Chanel Ayan, as she launches her new cosmetic line, Ayan Beauty, which is actually a really pretty name. Chanel Ayan sets aside her differences with former nemesis Caroline Stanbury and develops a new friendship. However, when the duo gets too close, Ayan ruffles the feathers with her bestie, Lisa. All right. Then we got Caroline Brooks. It says Caroline Brooks is stretched thin as she manages her bustling spa, the Glass House, which I'm glad, because I want to see what it looked like. Because remember season 1, we got to see her find the location, but we never got to see them do like the actual construction. So I am interested to see how it looks. It says the glass house struggles to maintain a work-life balance. Brooke introduces her friend for over a decade, so 10 years, Talene, to the group, but feels betrayed when Talene develops her own relationships with Brooke's frenemies. So I'm either thinking it would be Caroline Stansberry as a frenemy, Sarah, or Lisa. So I wonder who Talene has been friends with. So let's go to Talene's. It says, new to the group, Talene Marie is introduced to the ladies through her longtime friend, Caroline Brooks. When she develops a surprising friendship with Caroline Stansberry, her loyalty to Caroline Brooks is called into question. So I was right. So it's either, I thought it was going to say Lisa, but it's Stansberry, because Brooks and Stansberry be off and on. So I am interested to see how that goes. So let's go over to Caroline Stansberry. It says, with her dream home still under construction, girl, it's been 2 years, Caroline Stansberry and her husband Sergio realize that their honeymoon is over as they are forced to live in close quarters with their best friend Michael. Tensions continue to mount as the couple must decide if they are ready to have a child. Which is no, because honestly, Caroline Stansberry does not want children. She already has, I think, 2 kids now, and her kids are like I think she has her son, who is probably like a middle school age, and then her daughter looks like a high schooler. Like, I don't think she wants kids, but I also feel like you shouldn't have married Sergio if you couldn't give him what he wanted, and Sergio shouldn't have married you if you were pretty like steadfast, like, I'm not having kids. So I don't know how long this is gonna last, because they can't do surrogacy over there. I think that's forbidden, or it's not agreed upon. I don't think it's legal over there. And I don't know, maybe they could adopt children, but I don't know if they do adoption over there the same way they do it over here in America. But I don't really think they want kids. So the last person will be Sarah. So it says Sarah Al-Madahi. I think I said her last name right. If I didn't, my apologies. Test the waters with a new love interest from Germany, but the long distance may prove to be too big of a challenge. Sarah and Caroline Stansberry struggle to find common ground. So I am interested to see how Caroline Stansberry and Sarah get into it, because I wonder, if Caroline's going to have the same reaction as Brooks did. Because when Brooks was like, what the F is that? I was like, oh, Brooks. So I'm really wondering if she's going to have the same response, because the thing about Sarah is she's condescending. Sarah speaks as though she is the end all be all on every topic that she discusses, and Caroline is probably not going to want to be talked down to by way of Sarah, and vice versa. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. But that is the updates for Dubai. So let's move on. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. First up, Kim. I pray, and I pray to the Lord on high. I am never in the financial strength she is in, because there has got to be some type of there is no shame for that lady. So y'all know Kim and Kroy have been going back and forth. They're in a bitter and nasty divorce that hopefully ends soon, because she looked unhealthy and he looked very unhinged, like he ready to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying when I say do whatever. So she's been posting these links where a lot of influencers will do it, where they'll put a link in their bio, and however many clicks of people clicking on the link, that's how they get paid. So she did it with her daughter, where it was an article where she was like, oh, I'm so happy that Brielle is having a baby, and it was like a sonogram and a picture of her child, and it's like you click on it, there's nothing there. Well, yesterday Kim took to her Instagram, where she has a picture of her and Corey, and it's in black and white with hashtag RIP, a heartbroken emoji, and then hashtag link in the bio. And like the person said, she is so wild for this, and the other person was like, I had to mute her. I don't follow her. I mean, she don't really be coming up on my feed unless it has something to do with mess. But I just think it is so, it's got to be so embarrassing. It's so like belittling for yourself that you are resorting to putting out lies in order for you to get paid, versus you, girl, you might just need to go down to the Walmart, to Target, to Ross, I don't know, Old Navy, Dollar Tree, wherever, and get you a regular 9 to 5. Because lying, because I don't play about deaths, so I'm never gonna say like someone that I care about, and maybe she don't care about Croy, because she probably don't, is dead. Because you just don't be, like they said, it's life and death in the power of the tongue. But girl, you did it to your daughter. And I know, because I remember seeing a TikTok of I think it's like the second oldest child, her second oldest daughter, talking about how this stuff is like embarrassing. I know she has to be mortified every time she get online, because I remember in the TikTok she says getting online gives her anxiety because she never knows what her mom or her stepdad is going back and forth about. And I'm like, girl, right now it seems like your mom is the one that's doing the most. But I said, this is messy. This is mess. So let's talk about Portia, Fallon, and Simon. So if y'all were watch my last Housewives update, my last The Drama video, that was a Housewives update, I put in there a clip of Fallon saying when she was at the Baller Alert interview, she was like, ain't gonna be no talking, when they were questioning her about Portia. Well, this one clip is making its rounds where she says that Simon and Portia have been together for a year. So I'm gonna play the audio of that clip for you guys, and then we're gonna discuss.
Definitely a ploy, because they were already together they were dating for a year while I was happily married, and that came from Dennis's mouth.
Now, did her ex-husband know about that?
Yeah, Dennis told her.
That's
yeah,
all.
Dennis is the one who told me. He was like, he came to me, he apologized. We met up at Crew one night, and he was like, he wanted to talk to me about business or whatever, but I guess it was bothering him, and he apologized for everything. He was like, Fallon, I thought you knew the whole time that they were fucking around. He said, all of Atlanta knew. He was like, how'd you miss that? I said, I wasn't allowed out like that, so why would I? Which makes sense now. But yeah, so he was like, I'm so sorry. He was like, now it makes me look at my baby mama a certain way, because she told me the whole time that you knew about everything. You were cool with her sleeping with Simon.
So what was you and Portia's first interaction?
Our first one, I believe, was filming at my house, the pool scene. Yeah, that was the first time.
And you didn't sense anything?
That was your first interaction, but how did she know to come there? Who did she know to get there?
So I was approached by housewives a few times. By the time I said yes, they asked me, who do you want to be introduced onto the show with? And I said Portia. Not knowing,
And she was already...
Was she already?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
She was already, for a year. That's what Dennis
During
said.
this time, when y'all did the pool scene, it was already going down.
That's why when I was like, I went back and watched it, because everybody tags me in all the comments, and they're like, oh, you need to rewatch it now that you know it. And I went and looked at it, and when I said, oh yeah, we're about to do a ring upgrade, she was like, oh. I was like, I'm sitting there watching like, how did I miss this? I was in shock.
So you just heard the audio. It's sped up for Fallon's interview with what is it called? Baller Alert. If you want to listen to it in regular form, I have the link in the description box below so you can check it out. But I do find it interesting that like all the things people thought about Portia, especially with this relationship with Simon, is now coming to a head. I remember watching other reviewers like Erica De Niro, like Bondi Blue, Jamie That's Me, and like Rodney the Voice, all kind of being like, there's something, mainly Erica De Niro. I remember her being like, that fist bump that Portia and Simon shared at the house when they first met each other was like, she felt, if I'm remembering correctly, but I remember her saying like it felt performative, and so when it came out that they were like together, like Erica was like, I knew. So it's just kind of interesting, because even with Tisa Tells, like, her etching out the timeline between them two, it's just kind of crazy, that they really been messing around for a year. But I feel as though, what's the point of Fallon talking about this? Not saying she can't talk about it, because it happened to her, it was her own life experience, but I'm like, what do you get out of this? Because it's like the story is going to move on without you, because you're not interesting enough to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. You tried to be on other reality shows and it just wasn't hitting for nothing. So I just feel as though you gotta get, like, I don't know, I just feel like you, like, at this point you should have hit the ground running when this story was like hot, but it's not anymore. Like, now people are more focused on the fallout between Simon and Portia. And there was this article posted by Radar Online a few days ago where it says Portia Williams' estranged husband demands RHOA producers turn over unreleased reality show footage. So it says Portia Williams' estranged husband Simon Guobadia demands a representative from production company behind RHOA sit for the deposition next month and turn over unreleased footage for upcoming season and give him a copy of her ex's contract. According to court documents obtained by RadarOnline.com, Guobadia requests a rep from the True Entertainment appears for a videotape depot on May the 20th in Georgia. He asks that the rep be ready to speak about Portia's status as a cast member on RHOA for 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. In addition, he asks for all information about her salary. Guobadia says the rep should produce all communications from 2022 to present with Portia and producers regarding her return to Real Housewives of Atlanta. He asks that the producers turn over all communication between Portia and producers about him, their divorce and prenuptial agreement, filming at their home, and storylines for upcoming season. Guobadia lawyers demands producers turn over copies of any and all photographs, videos, recordings, tapings, and footage of filming on the property since February 2022 of 2024 to now on. Girl. He not playing. When I tell you a scammer gonna scam, and Simon is doing just that. Like, I knew this. That's the thing. The way Simon reacted to Fallon, I knew he was gonna be 3 times as worse when it came to Portia, because Portia has a bigger name, and he knows Simon is greedy to be in the spotlight and create this type of brand for himself. That I was like, yeah, girl, he about to take you through it. And I know she's sitting over there like, damn, like, why did I do this to myself? And it's like, yeah, girl, why did you? Because again, everything that Simon like perpetrated that he could do for Portia could do for herself and then some. It made no sense that she quit her jobs. It made no sense that she left Real Housewives of Atlanta. And now you just going through it, because another article, which I'm not going to read, but I'll put the link in the description box below, but it says Portia Williams' ex, Simon, is using nanny as a witness in an ugly divorce. Employee slams RHOA star for bringing armed guards around children. So it says Real Housewives of Atlanta star Portia Williams' ex-husband Guobadia introduces his second witness to back up his claims against the reality TV star in divorce court. Radar Online has obtained a witness affidavit submitted by one of Simon's nannies. Her name was redacted in court filings. Like, girl, like, he's not playing. He's not playing with Portia. It says the individual said they had worked for Simon from May 2022 before he married Portia. They said that they cared for Simon's kids before Portia entered the picture, and looked at Portia and her daughter Pilar after she wedded Simon. I was in charge of managing things around the home, taking care of the kids, overseeing the vendors, and anything else needed to be done. I worked every day at the marital residence. Some days I worked from 10 to 11 hours in a day, and some days I spent the night at home, depending on what needed to be done. I'm always around, she said. Simon is such a good man. I've never seen him be violent or angry at all. He is well-mannered and is a nice guy, she wrote. The employee said Portia reached out to her on February the 22nd and asked if she could stay a late night. She agreed. The woman said Portia came to her the day and wished her a happy birthday and gave her flowers. The woman said Portia left the home evening and never came back. The next day, Portia filed for a divorce. The employee said that The employee said that she had to watch Simon's kids the following night before Portia left the home with Simon traveling. I could not go home from February the 22nd, 2024 until Monday the 26th till 2024 because Portia left the marital home without telling me. And it was a week. It was the week Simon's kids were in the home. Simon returned and was surprised at the divorce. Girl. So I didn't mean to read that, y'all, but I just kept going. But I do think Simon's going to get something out of Portia. And that sucks to say because even though I'm not a fan of Portia, I don't want her to pay this scamming man. But she's going to get something out of him because she's not clean all the way either. Because what would make you leave those kids with this nanny for 4 days? Because this lady said, I could not go home. She said, I could not go home to my home from Thursday, the 22nd, 2024 until Monday, the 26th, 2024, because Portia left the marital home and filed for divorce. Now, I'm not mad at her for filing for divorce because, I don't think that's a wrong thing to do, but it's just like, you didn't think this through. It's like Portia does things and she does not think them through. And I feel like this is a great lesson in when you only live for the aesthetic and survival, you make the worst decisions for yourself because aesthetically, like I keep saying, anything that Portia wanted to give herself, she could have given herself. She didn't have to marry Simon. They could have dated, but she wanted to be this housewife. She wanted to be that. On top of that, she heard that he was worth, like, hypothetically, I think they said like $40 million. And she was just like, oh, I'm going to get that. And you got that without vetting the information that was given to you because you're moving out of a mind of lack. And now you about to be having to pay him because if it's true that you left them kids, you owe that lady money. And that can be used against you in court to show how irrational and unfit you are to make this type of decisions or other decisions. On top of that, girl, if he does get that footage from 2022 all the way till on, and it comes to find out that you were planning to divorce him, girl, you about to have to get that man some type of money. And I low-key think he is about to get all this footage and everything because it's like, why wouldn't they give it to him? Like, he's asking for it. And like, production really can't save you by doctoring stuff up because they could be liable. This is a mess. And to make matters even more messier, why was Sheree out with this man? So yesterday, Simon posted this picture. She said, great breaking bread with good and loyal friends, #loyal friends. And it's Sheree and like 2 other people. So everybody was up in arms with that. And they even had a video. So if Sheree is going to be on next season, she's probably definitely going to be at odds with Portia. Some people feel like it's a contrived storyline. Other people feel like maybe they were friends before she got to know him, or maybe she just was like, she on his side. I thought the lady that was in the picture was Fatima from last season. I think that was like season 13. Was it season 13? No, I think that was like season 15 where Drew threw the dog treats at her. But no, this lady's name is Renee or Rizé or something like that. But I said, really, Sheree? But I would like to see her and Portia get into it. And shout out to one of my mutuals because I found it. He posted this. He said, RHOA season 16, Kenya to Sheree. Sheree, why were you taking pictures with Simon? And Portia with the stank face. Sheree, I don't even know that was Simon at first. He came to me and asked me for a picture. Yeah, I thought he was a fan. And I mean, I can take pictures with whoever I want. I can see Sheree saying this. Shouts out to Third King. Y'all should go check him out. He has really good critiques and like hot takes on Real Housewives, but I just thought that was funny. The last thing we're going to talk about is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So this was reported on the 22nd, so Monday, and this was reported by Page 6. So I'll put the link to that article below, but I'm getting this from Jay's reality blog, where it says Page 6 reported that Mary Cosby allegedly called Lisa Barlow's son Henry the R word during a heated argument while filming season 5, which left the entire cast grossed out. #RHOSLC. So they never put a word on. I'm like, okay, the R word. So people were like, did she say, retarded, which is a slur for disabled people? Did she call her a racist? Did she call her son a Republican? Like, everyone's like, girl, why are y'all just saying the R word? Put the word in there. So, but then this morning when I was like gathering my information for this, TV Deets reported this, where it says Lisa Barlow and Mary Cosby have moved on after the alleged Mary calling Lisa's son the R word. And they said the ladies are all good, a source tells Radar Online, adding that Lisa may have forgiving Mary, but she's likely she won't forget the drama. I said, okay, girl. But they be letting Mary punk them, to be honest. They really do. So Mary posted this to her Instagram, where she responded, where she said this: 2 sides to every story. My beautiful son. Hashtag page 6. Hashtag Bravo. Hashtag Peacock. Hashtag love. Hashtag live. Hashtag life. Hashtag lifestyle. So I guess Mary saying that Lisa might have said something derogatory about her kids, so she fired back. But who really knows? You know what I mean? But this other page on Bravo, Bravo Snarkside, said all of this happened in Mexico. So they said this. It says, RHOSLC filming in Puerto Vallarta. It says, I just saw them about an hour ago filming at the market in PV, Mexico. There were 2 groups, Lisa, Meredith, Mary, and a new one, Heather, Whitney, and Angie, and a new one. I was trying not to act too creepy, so I didn't linger long enough to figure out which new one is which. I made eye contact with Lisa. She was indifferent. I made eye contact with Angie, and she half smiled. If you see a sweaty lady in the background holding a baby in the next season market, that's me. So I guess this is where everything took place, which was in Mexico. So here's my thoughts, you guys. I feel as though if Mary actually said what was being alleged, then she's wrong. But with her posting that picture of her son saying there's 2 sides to every story, I feel like maybe Lisa drove her to that point, or maybe said something disparaging about her kid. But I'm going to wait to see everything play out, like on the show. They might edit it out and you might have to watch it on Peacock, or they might not show it at all. But if she was able to easily make up with her and move on, was it really that offensive towards you? Because I know a lot of parents that'd be like, you say one thing ill about their kid, it's a wrap and we done. But they're scared of Mary, which I find to be annoying, because I don't have any faves or any favorites on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I just watch the show when it's on. So I honestly feel as though, like, if Mary's gonna give you that smoke, return it back. But they're so scared to do it because either 1, they don't want to be labeled a racist, or 2, there's something about Mary that we don't know that they really like they either fear or they respect in a way. Maybe because they live in Utah and it's a religious town and she's a pastor. But in my opinion, I would be giving Mary the smoke every time she tried me if I felt it was deserved. But yeah, I hope they're not trying to be extra because Monica's not around. I feel like maybe they're worried that they won't be received in the same way they were last season. But I don't want fake storylines either, because I feel like it was too easy for you to move on from somebody saying a slur about your kid, but you never forget the drama. Like, girl, I would hold a grudge if I was Lisa. But then again, Lisa be saying slick stuff too, and then be so shocked when somebody cut back at her. So who knows, girl? Who really knows? I'm gonna wait to see. But that's all I got for you guys. So yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic, and definitely hop down in them comments below and share your thoughts about what we have discussed. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.